There's lots to explore this evening, lots to analyse, but we'll also be hearing what the comedians think about last night's result.
And I'm genuinely hoping that they fix the potholes, because I've got a post office. Let me tell you, you feel every bump.
I'll second that. I don't have a hernia, but I do hope they fix the potholes.
Well, after a long campaign, a long night, and for most of our politicians, a long and emotional day, I reckon we could all do with some light music. Sarah McMullen has been speaking to the panel of the BBC Scotland satirical show Breaking the News to see what new material is on the horizon for them as a new government takes shape.
So guys, to get us started, just tell me how we feel about those election results this morning.
I think that we knew that the Tories were going to get a kicking.
Has been glorious watching that.
I tell you, Bear picked up the side effects of my chemo. I even stopped vomiting for an hour. And I didn't expect the SNP to take such a hammer. I knew that they were going to get hammered, but you know, as they always say, lessons will be learned.
Because you're a very vocal supporter of the SNP, Jane.
Yes.
So do you think, what about John Spinney this morning? Do you think he'll need a weekend debate?
I think he's going to have to hire a hot tub and just lie in it while he eats lasagna to get over this whole situation.
What an image that is.
It's a great image. I think the SNP really have taken their eye off the ball completely. Everybody was too busy arguing about gender issues while everybody was falling into potholes. And then we had Humza, who is the unfunniest, joyless man. This is a man who fell off a scooter and got upset instead of laughing. I mean, why would you not laugh if you fell off a scooter? And then, of course, John Swinney, who looks like that stepdad who's trying to please us all really quickly, with his hot tub and his lasagna.
And Des, what did you make of the campaign then? Do you think it's been particularly engaging for people?
Yeah, there was a bit of low turnout in this, maybe a lack of engagement for some, but it's an important election. It's just been weird for us because there's certain things we couldn't say throughout, and now it is just hell for leather. We can go after every single person. Yeah, well, I sit in the middle here, so I'm able to have a go at a lot of different people. So for me, seeing new people getting elected is quite good because it gives us new targets.
That's right.
And we'll finally see if Keir Starmer has a personality, because he's not really done or said much to give away that too far.
I want to see him with a pair of inline skates with a cap. I think that the thing is, it's a really weird dichotomy for me, because I was desperate for Labour to win in England. Desperate for it. But did not want Labour to win in Scotland. And that's a weird political, canoe to sit on. I'm like, you guys win, no here though, win there. I'm really happy that, seeing Jacob Rees-Mogg losing his seat was, other than giving birth to Ashley and finally getting her out, seeing him get out was almost on par.
I think he'll have to go into a full-time job as a Cluedo piece now.
Yeah.
I think that's all that's left for.
I think that's his...
I think Labour, we were obviously hoping that, Labour would win as big as they did. But I do feel like, and I felt this for a while, that Labour are like the safety boyfriend, that guy that you meet when you're like, if we're both single at 30, then we're going to get married.
Yeah.
So it does feel like it's kind of tough to know where Labour stands on a lot of stuff. So that, I think, is the next challenge.
And no one's given a thought for the outgoing Prime Minister, poor Rishi Sunak. What is he going to do?
He's joining a tap dancing troupe. I made a voiceover this morning. Ashley did the tap dancing with a spoon, and I did him tap dancing all the way out. So he's joining a tap team. Can't believe his wife finally brought out a brolly. Like, 2 weeks too late, Margaret.
So guys, I'm picking up from all of you that you've not maybe thought particularly much of some of the candidates who've maybe bored you a bit, but has the campaign then given you much material?
And I'm pleased that the Lib Dem have sort of gained some. It would have been great if they could have been the official opposition. That would have been really great, just to see the Tories relegated to the back forever, lounging around on the unused PPE. So, but if Ed Davey did go full, it's a knockout, didn't he? That was fun. So it was fun seeing him just kind of do personality stuff, because they were like, we don't think we're going to win, but we want to show people that. In our manifesto, we've got some good ideas.
I can't wait for the first scandal. I'm just all about the scandals. I don't know. I want it to be good. I want some really good scandals to come up. And the other wonderful thing is the whole thing of reform. Now they actually have to do a job. And the very thought of all the pensioners in Clacton turning up going, son, I've not got the right bin.
I think what's happened in this election, we've seen more independent people coming through and smaller parties getting the votes. So that for us is good. It's more material, more people to talk about, more new people, more new candidates. And I think if I was to pick a star, an MVP of the campaign, it would be Ed Davey.
Oh, Ed Davey.
I think that guy's just had the most fun over the past 6 weeks. It looks like he's been on one giant stag do. I don't think he even knew there was an election on.
No.
And at the end of it, he's taken the Lib Dems to their best result in 100 years and won his Duke of Edinburgh award.
What is the hope for the future going forward?
Well, I hope there's a place for comedy and I hope there's a place for satire, because I think for us, we like to bring a bit of lightness to the dark and to hold those people to account. So hopefully there's more of that and they keep giving us as much material as possible.
And I'm genuinely hoping that they fix the potholes, because I've got a post-operative hernia. Let me tell you, you feel every bump.
I'll second that.
Have a great show. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and
gentlemen, start your engine!
It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
Clark, and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and it asks 4 opinionated panellists to put it back together again, and this is our general election special! With me to break apart the result are 4 fantastic comics on my right. We have Tiff Stevenson and Scott Agnew, and facing them are Liam Withnell and Janie Godley. Overnight we saw a massive Labour landslide. Who would have bet on that? Is the question currently being asked by the Gambling Commission. Leaders were seen casting their votes throughout the whole of polling day, with Rishi Sunak voting in Yorkshire, Sir Keir Starmer voting in London, whilst Ed Davey voted in a sumo suit at the top of a water slide. And we've just heard there's a recount happening in Inverness, West Rossshire and Skye, which of course will not affect outgoing Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. As we all know, sadly, he's never had Skye. Right, you've met our panel. Let's crack on with round 1. This is the Broken News round, where our teams usually have to guess 2 major stories of the week. But there is, after all, only one story in town. So, teams, can you tell me what this is all about?
Sir Keir Starmer says people around the country have spoken and they're ready for the worst change
in history. The SNP leader John Swinney says very poor results for his party will spark searching for
supporters.
Well, there we Scott, I'll come to you first. What do you think we're talking about there, my friend?
But the sounds of that might be our general election results. Big shock.
Of course, after 6 weeks of campaigning, it is all over, and we finally have a result. Labour won the general election in a landslide, with Sir Keir Starmer becoming Prime Minister. The party took more than 400 seats, both sides of the border, winning constituencies from both the Conservatives and the SNP. After hearing about a massive swing, Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davey immediately asked, "Where is it? Can I have a shot, please?" Nigel Farage has warned that he's coming for Labour after being elected as an MP for the first time on his 8th attempt, with his Reform Party picking up 4 seats. Amongst the top Tory casualties, Jacob Rees-Mogg lost his seat. He says he's looking forward. Oh, this is turning into a riot. What's happening? Yes, amongst the top Tory casualties, Jacob Rees-Mogg lost his seat. He says he's looking forward to having the free time to devote to his true passion, drifting through children's nightmares. Hello, are we sleeping well? Scott Agnew. Well, there we go. Reflecting on the general election, thoughts on the results?
I don't know. It's a kind of difficult... We all kind of knew that this was going to happen. It was kind of great fun watching, you know, that absolute sort of Tory massacre. It's hard to get excited about Labour winning anything because we don't know what they're going to do. They've kind of, I don't know, it was a wee bit like watching Scotland playing Switzerland at the Euros, you know, that. Oh, they're politically neutral, that's all right, but they've got all that Nazi gold, right? And that's very much like the Labour Party these days, you know.
Tiff, what do you make of the result of the general election?
I went through the 5 stages of election, which are denial. So this was me last week. It's not next week, is it? Followed by anger. What am I reading in these manifestos? Bargaining. Is there a party that I actually really like? Depression. We're already out of the EU. With acceptance, I'm voting Labour. But yeah, it wasn't a shock, but it was enjoyable. I mean, you mentioned Jacob Rees-Mogg. He's going to now presumably have to go into a job of being a full-time Cluedo piece.
He's been in training for years, Tiff. You know.
Penny Mordaunt lost her seat as well, which was excellent because if you watched the debates, her hair was actually getting bigger from her blow drying her own hot air into it every time she appeared.
I'm surprised Penny Mordaunt actually stood for election. I thought she'd have just fallen on her sword.
Hey!
Had to be done.
Janie, what were your thoughts? What did you make of the general election result?
I wanted to know how to say "get it right up ye" in Latin to Jacob Rees-Mogg. I enjoyed watching all the big hitters getting booted, especially the Alba party. They lost more deposits than Big Margaret, who used to tan the Minaj. And the Party for Women, that Kelly J woman, she lost all her deposits as well, and Count Binface get more votes than her. And yeah, she's like, you can't use that toilet. He's like, I'm a bin. So I think that all over, that it was really weird because being an independent supporter in Scotland, I was desperate for Labour to win in England, but not win in Scotland, which is a weird dichotomy to have when you are politically invested in this. And I'm like, yeah, guys, go for it, just no too near the border.
Liam, what about yourself? Reactions to the general election result?
Well, I actually will go one further. I think watching Keir Starmer win with Labour is more like watching Gareth Southgate win with England, you know? In that it's boring, it's safe, nobody's happy, even the people who are supporting it, and he's sacrificed the left wing in order to facilitate the centre.
Yeah.
It's a big day of change, isn't it? It's a big day of change. What we had before was, you know, a posh bloke in a blue tie who's willing to throw minorities under the bus in order to cosy up to big business, and now he's got a red tie.
Big changes on the political landscape.
George Galloway's get booted out as well, just in case anybody missed that. George Galloway, meow, 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 meow.
I will be Rula Lenska if Des, you will be.
Don't make
Des,
it do the
don't
impression.
veneer.
Would you like me? No, I can't do it.
Do it.
For old time's sake.
Yeah, do it.
Would you like me to be the cat?
The last chance. It's the last chance.
What's wrong with you, Tiff?
I think I just threw up my deposit.
Although last night it was, would you like me to get my coat?
I'll just grab my hat.
Yes, you're absolutely right. George Galloway lost his seat in Rochdale after only 4 months in the position. His term has been described as pointlessly short by most and dragging on a bit by Liz Truss.
She's lost her seat as well.
She has, she's gone.
Lost his out. She absolutely Absolutely, and it's beautiful because now she can go and be like, she's always had the air of an Avon sales lady that you hide from when she knocks on the door. So now she can just go do that.
Do you remember she was the Prime Minister for the fair fortnight?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it.
Well, we're talking about these politicians that fell through the night on election night, so that brings us on to the subject of what should they do now? So many politicians waking up, going into the weekend, no longer have the constituencies. What should they do now? Scott, any thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you what I want to know is what, because Michael Fabricant, he got knocked out, right? He lost his seat. I want to know what that thing in his head is going to do now, right? It's just right. Anyway,
I think it goes back on Wurzel Gummage's head after it's.
See, years ago when he came on the telly, my wee dad was alive in the care home, and he came on, and my husband went, "I thought Diana was dead."
Obviously, a lot of politicians are now out of a job. What should they do now? Any ideas, Janie?
They basically should go get an actual job and work and see what it feels like to be somebody who is working, two people in a family who are working hard and still can't quite reach it. Or we should send them all to Rwanda.
Plenty of options for an out-of-work MPs there. Liam Withnell, obviously there are now a lot of politicians out of a job, but what should they do now?
I don't care. I don't care what they do. Just don't start a podcast. That's it. That's my only thing.
Right, well done for getting the right answer. Of course, we're talking about the general election and reflection, of course, on the results. Jeremy Corbyn hailed his win in Islington North as a resounding message for the people that they wanted something different, which the people demonstrated by electing the same guy they've had there since 1983. The Greens managed to win 4 seats. They glued themselves to 4 more, but they didn't count. There you go. It was, of course, the result of the general election that everyone is talking about. Well done to both teams. You get 2 points each. Now, much of our news is about public opinion, so to find out what stories people are talking about, well, there's only one story in town, so we spoke to friend of the show, broadcasting legend Bill Whiteford. So, teams, what do you think Bill is on about here?
Well, the UK has made its feelings clear. But what does it all mean for us here in Scotland? What about the policies? What about the economy, taxes, cost of living, Scottish independence even?
I think he was talking about how the policies and the whole election affects the actual Scottish voter.
Yes, that's right, Janie. We know what party won across the UK, but north of the border, we saw a rough night for the SNP. SNP leader John Swinney has said his party will do some soul-searching as its support collapsed and Labour made large gains in Scotland. John Swinney has admitted that the SNP's dramatic defeat completely changes the roadmap to Scottish independence, which is good because the last one's still in the glove compartment of that camper van. Janie, what do you think then? How has last night changed the outlook here in Scotland?
I think people were ready for a change. I hate saying it. I am an SNP. I am an independent supporter. I've never had that from anyone. But I think everybody just get fed up with the infighting, with the let's make this about gender issues. When it actually came to it, the voting public didn't care about those things. What we really care about is the NHS, we care about schools, we care about the roads, and these things weren't being addressed. And I think every single voter who was absolutely happy for independence just thought nothing is going to change. So like a snow globe, I think it just needed to be shaken up. And I feel really bad that a lot of really good people have lost their seats. But you know what? That's politics. Don't join it if you're too scared to do it.
There you go. Yeah, very reflective. What are your thoughts then, Liam? How has the election changed the outlook here in Scotland?
Yeah, tough night for the SNP. A lot of MPs lost their jobs. Joanna Cherry lost her seat. I found that hard to watch, actually, because I was laughing so hard I couldn't hear the telly.
Tiff, what are your thoughts? How has the general election changed the outlook here in Scotland?
Well, I think it will change the conversation around independence won't it? You know, because I think you're now independent from a party that cares about independence. So I think the Scottish people have a right to feel disillusioned, to feel angry, to want to have that discussion. But, you know, a change is as good as the rest.
I think one of the worrying things is about Labour getting in and, you know, the unified parties is, do we need another 46 orange walks? I mean, and why is that guy no losing any weight banging that drum?
I'll tell you, Janie, because I live at the bottom of the salt market and there's 25,000 of them marching by my window the morrow, so I'm selling them rolls and sausage.
Obviously, we saw big losses in the last couple of days in the election for the SNP, and it's now down to leader John Swinney to turn it round. Janie, what can John Swinney do to turn things round for the SNP?
He can give everybody a hot tub. And it does look like that new stepdad. It looks like he's just trying hard to please everybody.
I think he should really take advantage of England's run at the European Championships. Nothing furthers the cause for Scottish independence more than hearing an Englishman say it's coming home, you know? He should adopt that as his campaign song, and soon enough you'll have 99% favour of Scottish independence. Actually, it's good the Tories are out, because if England do end up bringing it home, it'll have to go and sit in Rwanda for 90 days first, you know?
Tiff, what do you think then? What can John Swinney do to turn it round for the SNP?
He needs to go on a big reality show. We do need him on Strictly. We do need him on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, because apparently that's the thing that gets attention to your cause.
Fantastic. Tonight on Love Island.
I said no to the jungle.
You said no to the jungle?
Yeah.
Oh, Janie, I never knew you got offered it.
Yeah, 2 years ago they offered me. I was like, no, somebody annoys me. You know me, I just end up sticking somebody's head in the fire.
Any more than John Swinney? Because we are now looking around the houses here in Scotland at other big stories of the election. Janie Godley, what's next for Douglas Ross?
Well, after stealing somebody's seat, telling you're too sick for this game, I'll sit in your seat and then lose it. What a riddy. I wouldn't leave the house for at least 9 weeks. That's like getting a really bad perm. You can't leave the house. You either have to get used to it or grow it out.
It's quite the climb down for him, isn't it? Because he left his, he quit as the leader. And they always talked about Douglas Ross as being the fresh face of Scottish Tories, which is a bit like calling him the pineapple ring on top of the gammon. And I always thought, being leader of the Scottish Tories is like being a sibling to the Queen. You know, you're never getting on the throne, but you can look longingly at it. Like the Princess Margaret of politics, but less entertaining.
Scott, we're talking about people that might not have had the best election night. What is next for Douglas Ross?
Arbroath wie Montrose.
The big one.
I know, the big one. But, do you know, I wish for Douglas Ross that he receives all the joy and goodwill that he puts out into the world.
Thank you for a very nice and fair answer there, Scott Agnew. Very generous of you. Obviously, we had an all-encompassing general election campaign, but what's something you wish had been talked about during the campaign but wasn't?
Well, there was a point over the last few years, at some point, I don't know when the lids on plastic bottles became permanently attached to bottles. And are completely unusable, so annoying to drink from. Nobody is talking about it. Is it a Russian psyop? Who's in charge? Who's doing this? It's driving me mental. Whoever starts talking about the lids on bottles. Yeah, see? Oh, you're actually managing it. How are you doing that?
Jeannie's
I'm a woman. We can do things really, really well.
Incredible.
So there we go. Liam's issue, lids and bottles, and Janie manages it perfectly. Debunked straight away. Tiff, what do you think about this one? What's something you wish had been talked about during the campaign but wasn't?
Immigration, but focused on seagulls. Yeah?
Yes.
Because they come over here, they take our food, and they don't speak our language. When is someone going to deal with them?
Oh, I've got another one I wanted to talk about really quickly. Why they've invented gin and Guinness and everything that is zero alcohol. Why would you suffer that horrible taste but not get buzzed out your nut?
We are forming the
12 quid for a bottle of fake gin. My man still goes on about it.
I love this. We've got the manifesto sorted. And of course, we were talking about the general election and how it's impacted us here in Scotland. Out-of-date photo ID was also eligible for this election. You could tell John Swinney's ID was quite old after a member of the polling staff glanced at his passport and said, "What happened to the ponytail, big man?" Yes, what the election means for Scotland is, of course, the right answer. And well done to both teams. That's another 2 points all round. You're listening to Breaking the News election special from BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. This round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. This one is for everyone, so who is this?
But a mandate like this comes with a great responsibility.
Sounds like he's swallowing the words, but I think it is the new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer.
It certainly is. That's the right answer. Of course, it's the new Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. In his speech, the Labour leader said, "Change begins now." When Keir Starmer visited Buckingham Palace to formally take up the role of Prime Minister, King Charles seemed confused about how the Labour leader got the job and was heard asking him, "Did your mum pass away as well?" Oh, well done, Tiff, for getting the right answer. Of course, that's the new Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. So, he's in the job, just a couple of days. What is the first thing Sir Keir should do?
I think he should buy Rishi a Sky package. He's going to have a lot of time on his hands. And also, I need there to be a mandate to bring back leopard print. Because the Conservatives, specifically Theresa May, ruined leopard print for a full 2 years. It is the people's print. Step off it. You're not allowed it. So if Labour can come back and say we've claimed leopard print back for the people, I'll be very happy.
There you go, Keir. Make it happen. Thanks to Tiff Stevenson there, the Shania Twain of comedy. Bring back that leopard print. Well,
Sorry, Des, that don't impress me much.
Scott Agnew, what do you think then? Sir Keir Starmer is new to the job of Prime Minister. What's the first thing he should do?
I mean, I know Keir Starmer's an atheist like myself, but I would recommend that he booked a priest to get a wee exorcism, right? For number 10. Boris Johnson procreated within the walls of number 10, right? You need to expel that before we start anything, right?
Jenny, what are you thinking then? It's a big job, Prime Minister. Sir Keir Starmer's just in the door. What is the first thing Sir Keir should do?
Make friends with a cat. That cat has clawed the legs off Carrie, Boris's wife. That cat managed to attack 4 children of different Prime Ministers. It's seen them all.
So make friends with Larry the cat.
Make friends with Larry, because I'm telling you what, if you don't make pals with that cat on arrival, you're getting tanned.
Well, obviously, we've got a new Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. How do you think he's going to fare on the world stage?
Well, I know we've been kind of kicking Keir for being a bit boring, but actually, one of his weaknesses actually might be his greatest strength, because I think this gives us the upper hand. Whatever happens in the American election, he is going to get the upper hand in those negotiations, because they two old men are going to be out like a light, right? We can sign whatever deals we like after that, do you know what I mean?
Janie, we've got a new Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. How do you think he's going to fare on the world stage?
I think he'll buy trousers that go right down to his shoes. And that will be visually really helpful for respectfulness.
What do you think about Sir Keir Starmer and how he's going to fare on the world stage?
Well, yeah, I think it depends what happens in the American election. I mean, him versus Biden, like you say, like when Biden does fall asleep, it's unsure whether or not it's because he's been listening to Starmer or because he's 1,000 years old. But seeing Starmer have to negotiate with Trump is like watching your stepdad manoeuvre a balloon animal. Like, I don't know how that will work either. So I think it depends very much. America's still in charge, you know, and look, I mean, we live in a country that made Coldplay headline Glastonbury, so we've got boring as a global brand going.
We're owning that, Liam. We're owning it. Let's bring it closer to home. Tiff, how will the new Prime Minister treat Scotland?
They've got some work to do to woo a girl, I think. Yeah. Take her out for a slap-up meal, foot the bill for a change, ease her mind about her natural resources and how you're going to keep your hands off them. So, so I think there's some work to be done, but hopefully, he's made big promises. Let's see if he can fulfil them.
Scott, what do you think then? Labour had a lot of gains in Scotland. How will the new Prime Minister treat Scotland?
Until the next Holyrood elections, like a caring, gentle lover. After that, like a scud book in a prison. Anyway.
That's my boy. Yeah, they're always nice to start with, aren't they?
A lot of people waiting to see how Sir Keir Starmer treats Scotland. How do you think that's going to go?
With the same care and attention that I, aged 9, looked after my Tamagotchi. Just keep one eye on it, make sure it's got enough food, eventually lose it right down the back of the couch, and then find out that the dog has eaten Scotland and there's a beeping coming from the dog's tummy and you have to pay £2,000 to get it removed. I think that is... the care that Starmer's going to give.
That's exactly it, that kind of lasered focus. A lot of people talking about the first 100 days in office for Sir Keir Starmer, but what would you do in your first 100 days?
I think the economy, we've got to look at the economy, because the economy right now is a bit like me in my 20s in that the interest is very high. But there's a lot of negative equity and is often being destroyed by public school boy. So...
Outgoing Prime Minister Rishi Sunak studied at Oxford University and Stanford University in California, which is where he met his wife, Akshata Murthy. Sunak said that he fell in love the very first moment he gazed deeply into her bank account. Yes, that was, of course, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. Well done, 2 points all round! Time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out an election-themed headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
What kind of chickens would you like to see?
There you go. That is Clive Myrie there. What a workhorse he is. Straight from the election coverage to his shift at Nando's. Get your fingers on your buzzers, and here we go. There are now 57 what in Scotland? Scott.
Chinese pandas that are signed up to the Scottish Tory Party.
A lovely answer. Fingers back and buzzers. There are now 57 what in Scotland? Liam.
People who voted for the Alba Party. They might be overestimating it a little bit.
Well, the numbers aren't quite right, so something else we're looking for. There are now 57 what in Scotland. Anyone else want to have a go? Tiff.
Types of baked bean.
Oh, that got a lovely recognition from the audience. 57 Heinz varieties, it's not that. There are now 57 what in Scotland? Liam.
Old Firm derbies per season.
All now refereed by Douglas Ross. There are now 57 what in Scotland? Janie.
Vape shops in every single street.
Bonus point for that answer. Yeah. It's probably an underestimation. The answer we were looking for is this. There are now 57 UK Parliament constituencies here in Scotland.
What kind of chickens would you like to see?
Oh, there's the klaxon. It means it's all over. Clive has married. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week by a landslide are Tiff Stevenson and Scott Agnew. And sadly losing their seats, it's Liam Withnail and Janie Godley. And we'll leave you with the breaking the news predictions for the new Parliament. After a disastrous night for the SNP, John Swinney will stand down, meaning that by tradition the new leader of the party will be John Swinney. And when Ed Davey announces that he's stepping down, the Lib Dems will choose their next leader by picking whoever wins the next series of Gladiators. Rishi Sunak will quit politics and move permanently to California. He'll start driving a Tesla, not because it's eco-friendly, but because he's still not worked out how to use a petrol pump. And transition in Downing Street is a rapid process, with Rishi Sunak moving his family out of number 10 immediately, and Dion Dublin going straight in to see what changes he recommends that Starmer should be making. The election is broken. I've been Des Clarke. Goodbye!